So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick crash course on how to perform the Boyle's Law Lab. For some reason, I must be out of class to be showing this video. You're going to need three things to do this in addition to your lab directions and your data sheet. As pictured here, you're going to need a lab quest, and this is just turned on, not hooked up to anything at this point in time. The lab quests are in the prep room, probably sitting against the wall, unless I've already taken them out and put them on a cart and they're plugged in on the cart. Could go either way. Gas pressure sensors should be in white boxes. There shouldn't be anything hooked up to the gas pressure sensors. If there's hoses or anything like that, those are screw caps, so you just unscrew what's attached, keep it in the box. And lastly, you need a plastic syringe that's supplied for you. I believe these are 20 or 30 milliliter syringes. I can't quite remember. All right, so once you've collected your material, you're going to want to go ahead and plug in the lab quest. And so the lab quest just plugs into the channels. As soon as you do that, you will get a signal on here and you'll be reading some kind of pressure. We're not going to be calibrating these. We're just going to be using the pressure as is. I think when you plug them in, the default pressure is in kilopascals, and you can see here on my picture it's reading in atmospheres. If you want to change the pressure, you can change the pressure units by clicking on that red band. Click on change units, and then you can change it to millimeters of mercury or inches of mercury or millibars or whatever you want. The units for this particular lab do not matter. Everything is relative, so it's all okay. You can keep it in any kind of unit you want to, whatever you like. I'm a personal fan of the atmosphere because atmospheric pressure is 1, and it just makes things easy, in my opinion. The way you connect the syringe to the gas pressure sensor is that this is a screw-on syringe. And so this syringe will screw on to the gas pressure base and will attach like so. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want to over-tighten it, because if you over-tighten it, it'll actually loosen it up because it'll release. And you don't want that. You want it nice and tight on there. Now, in this picture, I forgot to put the plunger up. If you read through your directions, you have to start with a certain amount of air in there already, and so you have to start with 10 milliliters of air. And so you should start with the plunger up here at the 10 line. I think in the next slides, I've already done that for us. So here I have, notice how the plunger is starting on the 10 line, and I'm holding on to the syringe itself. Anytime you're experimenting with this, never ever hold on to the gas pressure sensor to do any kind of volume manipulation. If you do that, you're going to apply pressure at this junction right here where they're connected, and this might break. So always have your hands on the syringe only, not the gas pressure sensor itself. So here I am. I'm ready. I've got the air in here. I'm ready to start recording my data. The next couple of slides are going to tell you how to set up your lab quest so that you can actually get data recorded. So on the lab quest, you see there's a mode over here. As I'm ready to record that, I'm going to zoom in on this. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go back. If you click on this mode, it says time-based right here. And I want to click on that screen right there, and I want to switch from time-based to events with entry. And the reason why you want to do that is because your lab quest has no idea what the volume is. It can't read the syringe. It's only going to be reading the pressure. So you have to type in the volume that your syringe is at so it can start plugging that data in and graphing it. So we want to switch from events with entry. We want to switch from time-based, and we want to make it read events with entry. When you click on events with entry, it's going to then ask you, well, what's the event that's happening? And the event that's happening is that you're going to be recording the volume. So you type in volume and you type in the units of milliliters. And then once you're done there, you can click on OK. When you do that, then there'll be the start button down here, and you click on the start button to start recording data. Now, it's not going to do anything until you tap this keep button. So it's not recording anything right now. It's just waiting on you to enter the values. So if you read your lab, you're then going to squeeze the plunger down to, I think, 3 or 5 milliliters, holding onto the syringe only. And once that person with the syringe has it set on 3 milliliters, you are then going to click on keep. And once you click on keep, a screen is going to pop up, and it's going to say, okay, how many milliliters is this? Now, even though your syringe is on 3, you're going to add, if you read your directions, an additional 0.8 milliliters to all of these, because there's an amount of gas inside the gas pressure sensor that we can't account for. So we're going to add 0.8 to every reading. So when that plunger is on 10 or 3 or whatever it is, you're going to enter in 3.8 or 5.8 or 7.8. So it's going to be an additional 0.8 on everywhere. And this is where you type in, for the first entry, it would be 3.8. You click on OK. It then records the data, and you continue on at 5 milliliters and 7 and 9. You do all the odds all the way up to 19 milliliters, I believe. Once you're done with that, you can then click the stop button, and that will stop taking data, and it will show the graph. And if everything is right, you should get a parabolic graph that is decreasing. It starts up high and it gets lower and lower and lower. As the volume gets high, the pressure should increase in there. So when the volume is low, the pressure is high, and as the volume increases, the pressure gets lower. All right. After that, you can go into your table screen, which is the button up here. It's got the little XY. You can then get the data off of the table to record onto your individual data tables. And there is some calculations for you to make, and you're going to see if you can figure out what Boyle's law is. You're going to actually calculate the Boyle's law constant by either taking pressure times volume or pressure divided by volume. One of those will give you a constant number. Now, one thing I should mention is that the very highest pressure kind of goes over our maximum allowable on the gas pressure sensor, so that one's kind of an outlier. We should probably not even do the 3 milliliter take, but we will. It's not a very good reading. But either taking pressure and dividing by volume or taking pressure and multiplying by volume is going to get you a fairly consistent constant, and then you'll do the calculations for all of those. There is an extension that's on Teams, part of your directions that are handed out to you. You're not going to keep the directions. The directions are 1 per team, and you're going to do the Excel graphing. And so when you do the Excel graphing, there's instructions on the Excel graphs. I have provided you with the templates. All you're going to have to do on your own Excel graphs is type in your data, and then I go through and tell you how to make the graph. All right, that's your crash course. Every team gets a lab handout that has the directions. Every individual will get a data sheet. And then you can help yourselves to the lab quests, the syringes, and the gas pressure sensors. Thank you.